Welcome to Starcraft. I'm Dreadbane, joined by Sapphire. This is game four of the finals now between Filthy, the random player who's got the blue Protoss, and mOOnGLaDe, the purple Zerg, once again. So this is on Kulas Ravine. We've had some pretty good games so far.
Yeah, due to the way this tournament works, seeing that mOOnGLaDe won the first best of three, he has forced a second best of three here. So whoever wins the next this best of three wins. Because it's double elimination, mOOnGLaDe doesn't win the tournament by winning that first best of three with Filthy. He's forced this second one. So the winner of this best of three matches will take the Tasman 2. mOOnGLaDe, of course, the defending champion, has to be the favourite right now, especially after he took the first best of three between him and Filthy 2-1. So Filthy's going to have his work cut out for him, but Filthy's played so well through this tournament, and keep in mind, Filthy played his way up from the qualifying stage. So Filthy played all the way through day one, and then into day two, whereas mOOnGLaDe was seeded, didn't have to play on day one, he just started with the round of 16 on day two, whereas Filthy had to start with the full 80 players on day one, and then that played down till 8, and then he was in the round of 16 on day two with all the seeded top players from Australia and New Zealand, and now, finally, he's made his way to the final, whereas mOOnGLaDe hasn't had to play quite as many games to get there. But both players are definitely deserving, and it's totally exciting to see this go to an overtime best of three. But we are seeing, looks like a 13 hatch here from mOOnGLaDe, which is relatively fast, especially for Kulos, where you are just, it's so tempting to take this expansion early because it's such a big, wide open map, and there's so much you can do, especially with destructible rocks leading in and out of all these bases, and it's just Filthy spawning as Protoss, and we're going to see 2-gate coming from Filthy, so very aggressive opening. He's already setting rally points right into Filthy's base here, going right across the map, all the way to his expansion, looking to block his expansion and get Zealots online as quick as possible. So yeah, not surprising to see early aggression from Filthy, because he's so aggressive and just puts it all out there every game.
Yeah, it's great to see, just to see this early, because of course mOOnGLaDe has to react to all this early pressure by Filthy, but mOOnGLaDe in a great position so far. He took the first one, so I would take him as the favorite once again. When he came into this tournament, he was the favorite, so he's my pick for this overtime series. But Filthy, I mean, hasn't really done too much wrong. He only lost the 2 games last one, so yeah, should be an awesome series. And yeah, like Filthy's play once again with the early pressure.
Yeah, bit of a problem here for mOOnGLaDe, which the automatic AI will eventually fix, but he wasn't mining from one of his patches, where he was doubling from every other patch. It's not too big of a deal, but now the worker AI has split it up for him because he pulled one off to scout with. But now we are seeing that fast gas go down, and we have seen very, very fast zealots come across the map here, and mOOnGLaDe just desperately trying to get enough Zerglings online to deal with it, whereas Filthy still producing zealots, pumping them out, while he's burning his chrono boosts pretty heavily. I imagine that he's going to start burning them on his economy now, although we are seeing this drone seeing exactly what's going on in Filthy space, doing its little breakdance here in Filthy Spain. But no, it doesn't seem like Filthy's interested in getting rid of that scout. He just wants to apply as much pressure as possible, delay this expansion, and basically force mOOnGLaDe to go roach, which is, with so many zealots in his base right now, this is damaging times for mOOnGLaDe here. He's just got, this parade of zealots, which he should be able to deal with comfortably now that he's got roaches out, but it has forced him to go one base on Kulos, which is really not an ideal situation. And Filthy, once again, without putting any structures up or any kind of wall in, which has been popularized on certain maps, Filthy's basically contained Moonbase to one base purely with zealots off this 2-gate zeal push, and he has so many zealots now moving right into mOOnGLaDe's base once again, keeping this pressure up, and mOOnGLaDe forced to produce so many units, can't get his economy online. The Zerglings kicking in though, Filthy's line of zealots trying desperately to work through the zealots and cornering, getting a few free shots on these Zerglings here. The Roach is desperately running to the workers, pulling all his workers off mining. This is terrible, terrible situation for mOOnGLaDe. He's getting pressured so much. And all that lost mining time is just more advantage for Filthy here, who's basically forcing one of the strongest macro players in this tournament just to stay on one base. And we saw this in the game where on steps where Filthy spawning as Terran was able to completely contain mOOnGLaDe and just slowly ebbed away at him, and mOOnGLaDe on one base just didn't seem comfortable in that situation. So we're going to see how mOOnGLaDe is able to respond to this.
Yeah, mOOnGLaDe actually took one of Filthy's extractors now, so this probe up the top here has to slowly burning this extractor down. But now that Filthy has stalkers online, he will need that second extractor up pretty soon. But once again, Filthy just proving how well he does this early pressure, just keeping mOOnGLaDe in a position he really doesn't like to. mOOnGLaDe is breaking down the rocks just above his base though, so he will be able to get this expansion up in a matter of seconds, while Filthy pushes in with his Stalkers and Zealots once again.
Yeah, this is, I mean, a testament to how well Filthy's pressure is. This Queen hasn't been able to spread any creep and has to save energy for transfusions because there's just so much pressure coming from Filthy constantly. Now mixing up a bunch of Stalkers into his initial aggression here. And mOOnGLaDe has spent so many resources on these roaches and getting more and more speedlings. He's just forced to produce so many units, more Zerglings on the way. Only now finally getting his speed online, which is really, really delayed. He was just forced to delay it while he built so many roaches. So this is not a great position for mOOnGLaDe to be in. He's just being so well contained here by Filthy, who's just playing so great off one base and not even remotely worried about anything that mOOnGLaDe has thrown at him so far. He's been able to walk into mOOnGLaDe's base, do harassment, make him pull all of his drones off, getting a bunch of kills, and not really taking too many losses, still maintaining his army advantage. I like the fact that mOOnGLaDe destroyed these rocks and now he's getting his expansion online, meaning that Filthy, if he wants to harass it, A needs to scout it and B needs to take out these rocks. He really should move one of these overlords up here to watch it, to keep an eye on Filthy trying to pull something off and just taking those rocks down. But mOOnGLaDe really needs to take the aggression factor. This overlord too needs to be on the ramp. There's this sweet spot right here where it should be looking, but it's really not like mOOnGLaDe to be off his game like that, which just shows how well this harassment's been working by Filthy, and it's what you want to do when you're up against a high caliber player, and both these players are high caliber. You just want to throw them off the game a little, force them to do attacks and production that isn't quite inside their comfort zone, force them to change their strategy up and just throw their game off as much as possible, because every little slip is an advantage and you need every advantage to win at this level. So yeah, really great play from Filthy, and I would definitely say that he's in a commanding position right now.